All right. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. I was trying to get all this set up last night, and it took me forever because I forgot I'd not really set it up since getting this other computer up here. So, what we've got is someone on one of the Facebook groups is having issues with their FlexRadio with Winlink with the newer version. I'm just trying to provide them information on my setup. Hopefully this mic sounds okay. I haven't had, this is literally, I haven't checked any of my work on this to make sure everything's right. So hopefully it is. If not, I'll just come back and do this all again. All right. So I'm going to just do a quick rundown of what I've got just so he can see what my specs are. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do this on a Flex 6600, 6600M, 6400, even running a VM on a really old Macintosh. This Mac is, let me put that screen up for you, right mouse. Actually, let me deal with the speaker here. There. Hearing still, let me mute. There we go. All right. So, all right. So let me get this screen over here for you. See what I got. The only problem I have with my screens being up on this table like this is I don't have real great, and it's hard to see. All right. So here's the Mac. And I am using on this Mac here. This is just to give you some perspective. All right, so to give you some perspective here, this is a slow. This is a 2010, mid 2010, and it's got 16 gig of RAM, and I think like 600 gig hard drive. But that's the information on the Mac that I'm running. If we go into look at system resources, I thought it'd be better because it'd make it big, but it just makes it keyboard. Too many things. All right. Here. And if we look at the system resources, you can see I don't have a lot. Let me zoom in here just to make sure you can see that. I am only running. Hold on. I had a cat come in. Delays. Okay, so as you can see, I'm pretty well tapped out system resource wise on this computer. So the host machine, I've only got 19% IO on my CPU. It's pretty limited, but it still does the job. So there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get WinLink to work even with a really old PC just running Windows without any VMs. Because keep in mind, we close this. Let's look at the VM. All right, so go in here and go to settings and just see what I'm giving the Windows VM for. So basically, I'm giving it 4 gig and 2 processors. So that's all it's getting. Well, there's only 2 processors on this old Mac, but that's what it's getting for resources. It's getting 4 gig and 2 processors that it's only getting 20% of. So, so enough of that. So this is what the Mac is running. And then we're going to pop over to the actual virtual machine here. Up. All right. So now we're in the VM. And so the first things you gotta do to make sure when you're using it with the FlexRadio, and you haven't ran into this yet, or if you're new to FlexRadio, I'm not sure where this person that asked this question, where they're at with FlexRadio, how long they've had it or anything like that. So I may be telling them stuff they already know. My apologies if I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm going to cover all this anyway, just to be sure that it's all covered. So basically, if you see here in the DAX software, and I'll see, in the SDR, Smart SDR DAX. So this is what will map the audio from your radio to something that the software on your computer can actually use. So you want to make sure, obviously, that this is streaming is blue. Now on mine, you'll see here, I'm going to hit this button. And this is if you go into, you'll see this on Smart SDR, and I'm going to review Smart SDR as well. I'm just using the front panel right now. But you need to make sure that the DAX is turned on for your transmit, basically. If that's not on, you're going to see this as orange or mustard, or it's not really yellow. I don't know what color that is. Anyway, if you do not have the DAX enabled for transmit, that is not going to be. So you want to make sure that that is enabled. All right. Then obviously for receive, I have DAX channel 1 for slice A, and basically here slice A. And if I turn this off on my slice, if I don't have a DAX assigned for the slice, and you're going to see yellow. All right, so it's not going to work. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Slice 1. So now we have slice A is on. Slice A, I'm sorry, the DAX 1. So slice A is on, and I don't understand what is dinging at me. I turn all these alerts off, and somehow they always come back. Well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. So we've got your audio configured. Now let's look at the serial. So the FlexRadio is actually doesn't use RS-485. It is actually using a network. So what we have here, though, is Winlink only supports a serial type communication. It doesn't know how to do a network communication. So when you're in the Smart SDR CAT, you'll want to make sure you've got this enabled. Again, if I turn the DAX off, and that's interesting. Maybe the DAX doesn't apply to the serial. It's been so long since I've configured this. Maybe always there. I guess that's always there. So ignore the DAX for that. So the serial, basically right here is COM4. It's telling you it's going to be as COM4 for slice A and COM5 for slice B. If I turn slice B on, you'll see that that comes up. You'll notice that I do not have any TCP/IP assigned to slice B. Click on it, say edit, and then you can edit all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to worry about that right now. But you want to make sure you've got. So let's go ahead and because these were already here for so long, I don't remember what I set up, how it came out of the box. I am going to delete these and recreate them. And hopefully I'll remember what I did so that I'm not messing my own self up here. So, but I'm going to just completely remove them. so that if you come in and there's nothing here, because I don't remember how it looked when I first got the radio and installed the software, so we'll just completely. So say you come in and there's nothing, hit add, and basically we're going to say this is a serial connection. We can give it a name, say, and this is going to be the serial cat. And basically we want to use flex port, and it's going to assign it to COM port, and it's slice A. And this is literally all you have to do. Split mode, basically just leave all that alone. You're going to enable the auto switch for transmit. So that just means when you transmit on slice A, if you have several slices, it'll automatically switch to slice A when you transmit. And if you have the same for slice B, when you transmit, it'll automatically switch to slice B to transmit, so that you can pick whatever antennas you have assigned to that slice. But for getting started, this is all you need for Winlink. Double check serial port. Let me start it again. This is what happens when it's something I haven't done in a long time. This isn't really an official like edited video. I'm under a lot of time constraints, so I figured I would do this live stream to try to help this fella out, because I just don't have the time to dedicate to a really nice clean tutorial at the moment. So hopefully you'll find this video useful regardless. Though it may be a little longer than necessary. So let's try this again. Flex serial, all that's checked. Save. Great. I failed to create. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted those. See, maybe they were already there. Let's try TCP/IP. All right. And I don't port that port. Save. Okay, that worked. Okay, so now try this again. Save. All right, so I screwed something up. Great. Well, that means those were already installed because I didn't have to go through that much work to get going. So I'm going to do this, and hopefully I saved a snapshot. The other time I would have, but gotta fix it. So bear with me while I fix this. So, if you ever do this, now you're going to figure out how to fix it, because I'm going to have to figure out how to fix it. So let's go ahead and close all. It really sucks to have keratoconus. I actually can see pretty good now. I've had thousands and thousands of dollars worth of surgery. My contacts, I have these scleral lenses that are multifocal. So relatively speaking, compared to what I used to be able to see, I see really good, but I still struggle. So, and when I'm doing stupid stuff on the screen here, it's just because I'm having trouble processing what I'm seeing at the moment. All right, let's try this again. So we know I shouldn't have deleted those, so they would have been there. Start. Let's look, see if they're cool. Start smart. If I have to, I'll just reinstall Smart SDR. Probably is a solution. Connect. All right, so we're Smart SDR. Second. Now, because my Mac is so slow, I generally, and I have a 6600M, I don't run Smart SDR a whole lot, just because. So, but it does do it. So let's see now. If I go here, running, and see if that difference. Don't think it will. Computer issue. 'See. All right, so I'm going to just cut to the chase. I am just going to reinstall it. Now, I may already have it in my downloads. Twelve. I downloaded it. I installed it, but so let's. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, bear with me while I fix my screw up. I was trying to show you all this stuff, and I messed myself up. So let me just reinstall install the software real quick. It's been so long since I did the initial setup in Windows, I couldn't remember what was there or what was not, and created a problem for myself. Come on. Could have swore I already downloaded this. So I just, yeah, there it is right there. I don't know why I couldn't see it before. Oh, did I mention I'm blind? I'm going to close some of these things right now. Give me a little more resource. Oh. There it is. I don't know why I didn't see it. This is when the machine, when you ask this machine to do more than just one thing, it gets a little. So it works great for running WinLink, but now I've got 20 million things open. So let me all this. Are you are you still there, Arvind? Once I get this working again, then I'll be able to move forward. Yeah, it's all the things I clicked, all the installs I clicked because I was too impatient. Well, one of them will win here. There we go. There, we'll just do this, and this should solve. That because all right. So now we're back to where we started from. Let's go into chat, and hopefully it will be back to normal. Otherwise, I may have to restart this. Okay. I screwed it all up. So you know what? Give me a moment. I'm going to repost a new link. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to show you. As you can see, this is a very, very slow computer. And WinLink works for me. This machine is painfully slow, and WinLink works for me. So we've got to figure out what could be causing it. I do have a question. Are you using Wi-Fi? Are you connected to your computer by Wi-Fi, or are you connected to your computer by a straight Ethernet cable? And just, I should probably repeat what he said, just in case you're watching this video later and you don't have access to the chat on whatever device you're using. He mentions that he has WinLink working on his 5000A, but on his 6600 he's having latency, and um, so when you do get it, you do see that so that it seems that you do have a 5000. Okay. All right. So you have a 5000, so you're pretty literate of how Flex works. So um it's not an issue with the DACs, all those things. You actually do see it transmitting. It's just that the latency. Now, when you say latency, are you referring to the overall latency of the signal of your computer talking to your radio and then it's sending it out, or are you referring to the uh, that it doesn't hang up in time, like it doesn't release the push to talk fast enough after you transmit so that it can hear the other radio coming in, or that kind of stuff? Is it latency as in, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Is it network latency, or is it push to talk latency? I guess is what I'm trying to ask. Um, Here, I'm gonna while you type that, I am going to do something here real quick. Let me just do this the hard way. I know this will fix it. I'm gonna just it's this right here that's just installing it would have put everything back. It's all there. So I'm going to just remove this and then install the whole after. All right. So and your your SWR is good, correct? I mean, there's no reason that the radio would have been eliminating its wattage on the signal going out. I do see that with mine, and that's why I wanted you to see this. I do see the rise time do that, but it's only on the initial pulses that it sends out, or the initial call out that it does. Let me get mine going. Bear with me here. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I screwed up. I shouldn't have deleted that, and I did. So let me just get this back going here. Once I completely uninstall this and restart, all should fix things. Okay, well then that's good. So let me just get this working normally real quick, and then you'll at least have something to compare to, and you can see it working, and so you can kind of see what I'm seeing. I'm trying to think what else it could be. Well, once you see mine, then maybe it'll give us some clues. You can tell me or how it differs from what you're seeing, because I do see that mine does, and I just thought that was normal. It starts out low power, and then it starts to actually transmit higher wattage as it goes. And I just figured that was normal. But it's always worked for me, so I didn't have a reason to question it. So let me show you what mine's doing, and then we'll go from there. And I was going to try to make you a nice edited video so you didn't have to see all these screw ups. um, but I just didn't have time, so I thought I'll just go live and just show it, and then I screwed everything up. I actually just got a message from work. Let me check that real quick. All right. By the way, I haven't had a chance to, actually test this. I went to do this last night and realized nothing was set up. I hadn't apparently done a live stream since I got this other computer installed. So I spent all night getting everything back together and working. I haven't even had a chance to check. Does the mic sound okay? Is the volume, is it distorting? Is it clear? Do you hear a lot of background noise? Do I have all those settings right? That would be great if you could tell me. I'm not a Windows guy, so. All right, so this should be a complete fresh install. So hopefully this will correct my screw up. I am not sure why I didn't have a snapshot of this VM before doing this. I would have just rolled back. This is not one of my better moments. Yeah, and what I was going to mention is as Ryan, as you were mentioning there, you're concerned about the resources. I don't know what, I haven't actually researched what the NUC or however they pronounce it, NUC, what actually is in that hardware. But this Mac is pretty pathetically weak, especially running a VM on it. So I'm not sure that it would be a resource issue from that standpoint. I think anything bought new would run circles around this computer, even if it was a tiny little thing. I'm going to look that up real quick. Mm, 5i7. Yeah, I think I mean I could be looking at the wrong information here, but does Intel NUC mini PC with 11th generation? I'm sure any of these would run circles around the computer I have. Um, so sorry, I was trying to get caught up on that. Okay, so let's hope this resolves the issue. Please, please, please. A complete reinstall. What the heck? I really jacked things up. I'm gonna have to Google this. I may have to come back and do another stream because if this doesn't work this time, it's not going to work. I'm um. Oh well, hey, it did. It did. Cool. Um. Okay, so it says I have a serial port again. I had to go through all this, but okay. So now that I did that, and I didn't even need to show you how to do it, because you already passed that step. Let's go ahead and get back to where we started from. Let's go ahead and bring Winlink up. This over here. This on. There. And I like hearing my wife hates it, but I like hearing the digital mode make its noise. I'll turn it down quite. It's not terribly loud. That's all right. Okay. Oh, how about filters? Um, how wide is your have you checked your filter width? Just as a side thought, it just because I accidentally I screwed with my filter here. But okay, so let me just show you this real quick. I'm gonna just do a request for. I'm gonna just rather than write an email or anything, I'm gonna just ask it to update by radio, so that it'll send a request out doing that. And this will kind of give you, watch how fast it's doing these things over here. That might give you an idea of how slow this computer is. I asked to update by radio. I'm not sure why it's even doing it this way. But yeah, we can do an AnyDesk. Yeah, let me finish at least showing you what we have here on the Winlink. And then I'll cover a few other things just so anybody else that hasn't ever set up Winlink can know the other basic settings to get going. And then before I close, I'll get with you on Facebook and we can do an AnyDesk. But because of my vision issues, I'm kind of pulled too many directions as it is, and it gets harder for me to process all this information. So we'll do the AnyDesk one-on-one as soon as I'm done creating this. But okay, so we'll go channel selection. I'm gonna say update by radio. Yes, it's been posted. Now, channel. I'm gonna just, rather than write an email, I'm just. Okay, so I should have tuned first. Darn it. Hold on. Let me stop. Okay, now I'm tuned. All right. Try this again. Now, hopefully this guy can hear me. But actually, you know, now it makes a liar of me. Normally I'll see this literally ramp up. And I don't know if you're going to hear distortion right now while I could be getting RF. I hear it in my headphones, so I'm not sure if that's coming through the microphone or not. But yeah, there's a lot of times I'll see this when it goes those pulses at the very beginning, it'll just go really slow. But even then it works. So, let's just let this send. All right, so let me just do a quick rundown for anybody else that might come to this video so they can look at some of the basic settings on Winlink, and then I'll get with you on Facebook. And yeah, I like I say, so this, as you saw how painfully slow this computer is, I don't think hardware on the computer side would ever be the issue. Maybe it's network latency or something else. But yeah, let me just add some notes so that this video can cover the topic real quick. And now that I'm, you know, back on track, and then I'll get with you in a moment on Facebook. If there's any questions you have while I'm going through this, feel free to post them here, and then I'll answer them while I'm here on this video. All right, so when you're in the Winlink session, so the Winlinks, the way you set up Winlink, there's all these settings, of course, you can do for the main express, but that doesn't get it to talk to the radio. So once you have your CAT configured as a serial port and your DAX is all on here, you would basically go into the open sessions, and this is where you start setting everything up. So basically you would go your TNC setup, and wow, it does support serial. What was I thinking of that didn't support TCP/IP? Oh, that was the Mac version of that PAT software. That does not support a TCP/IP to the radio. It only supports serial, which then you can't run it on the Mac because there's no Yeah. Okay. So basically, I point to localhost, and oh, that's to the TNC. I'm sorry. So the TNC is here. I was on the wrong setup. So you're going to open up Vara if that's what you're using. I really like Vara. It's worth the money. I bought the $60 version, but you're going to go into Vara setup. And God, apparently it's been so long since I've done this stuff, I've forgotten everything. So this is where you pick your DACs. And so I have my DACs audio receive 1. So that's this stream right here. And then I have my DACs device output. So that's basically controlled by this setting here. And then you can use these to control your volume. And like I say, I know you already know this, but I kind of wanted to add this to the video. If anybody finds this video later, that they don't come here and find absolutely nothing helpful at all. So now there is a setting, but apparently I did forget where it's at to do the serial, and thought it was here. Oh, radio setup. There we go. So in the main session control is where you do your radio setup. And yes, it does only support a COM port. It doesn't support the TCP IP. This is, so you're going to do USB digital, and you're going to pick FlexRadio from the drop down, and just do your speed at 9600. So there's your settings. So literally, you know, for anybody else trying to set up the Flex with Winlink, that is your basic settings that matter. And like I say, you're going to get that from Open Session. And honestly, I think the free version of Vara is better than RDOP and the other stuff, but that just, probably personal preference. I think some of that stuff is also deprecated. I don't know what they're getting rid of. I've been using Vara so long, I haven't really paid attention to stuff. So anyway, so I apologize that this video went on forever, but if you mess up your cat, now you know what you have to do to fix it. Just uninstall, reboot, and install. And now, did you have any other questions before I get a hold of you and go through your remote session with AnyDesk? Ryan, did you have anything you wanted to say or add or correct me on, or because I'm sure I did a lot of things wrong. So if anybody else knows or has any input that they can add to that would be useful, that I can add to this video. You want me to try? Let's just try it and see. Usually I have such bad noise, but today is actually pretty quiet. Usually I have such bad noise in this area that Vara is the only thing I could ever get to work for the most part. But let's try RDOP. Let's just see what it does. And gotta remember how to close this. Hope that's all set up on you. Pretty sure it is. There it is. All right. Open a session. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to request for an... Oh, okay, got it. I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm going to just go in here, best channel, and I'll just request channel selection, update by radio. Fine. This way. All right, so now best channel. And let's see if we can be heard. I can't hear anything. I may have to go to 20 meters or something. We'll see what it says is next. So are you guys hearing that RFI when I'm speaking as it's transmitting? It makes static on the mic as I'm transmitting when I talk, and I can hear it. I was curious if you guys hear it on your end. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to see if there's a 20. Selection. Go. I know it says it's not as good, but let's just see. You know what? Let me try a different. Let me go back to 40. Oh, got to tune again. Turn it to. Switch to smart SDR. Yeah, let me do that. I probably can show it here. Here, let me open smart SDR and we'll look at that. So no one's even hearing me. I can't even hear anybody on the other one. Right? So let's just table that for the moment. Let's go into smart SDR. Yeah, let's see. I got to remember where that's at. The radio setup. Filters. This where you're referring to here? This section? Oh, under, sorry, latency under the radio tab. Okay. I've never actually changed any of those settings, so I'm not sure where you need me to go. Is this the right tab? Because I'm not seeing. Other than the filters. Okay. So network. Were you referring to this section here? Is this the right one? Oh, next one. Or maybe you're seeing it delayed. You know what? You're probably seeing it a few seconds behind when I actually do it. Am I on the right one now? You want me to, so, and and when you had it this way, it wasn't working either. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see your screen to see if it looks like, because mine's not doing it now either. But I have that rise, that slow rise. I have seen that, but it's always worked. So I think at this point, uh, I've gone as far as I can go in this video. So let me um, I'll hop over to see you on Facebook, and we'll get a private conversation going, and we'll get any link going. All right, sound like a plan? Okay. All right, bear with me again. My vision issues do make me seem like I'm really slow sometimes. um, so all right, I'm going to see you on Facebook. And again, for anybody that was tuning into this, I'm sorry this video was kind of a mess. This is what happens when I don't do this regularly. I don't get practice and I forget how to do things. Um, but at least this was at least a good way to test to make sure all my streaming stuff is working. I guess I'll go back and watch it later and see how it did. So for now, this is KE0LCS. I'm going to say 73 and Arvind. How did I say that right? Arvind? Oh, maybe he slipped. Maybe he already went off to Facebook. All right. I am going to go ahead and sign out. You guys have a great afternoon, and I need to do these more often so that I can look like I know what I'm doing. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. It's not working.